Hi, welcome to Our Game Realm. In this video I'll be going over painting Krieg crew members of the artillery team that I painted in previous videos. Any techniques shown in this video you can easily apply to any other Krieg infantry, the engineers, command squad, anything. In here you can see the crew members. I glued them to bases using super glue, so it's easier to paint them but later remove and attach to the guns. So, the first step, of course, is similar to the gun pieces. Just base coat them black and apply first layer of paint. In this case, it's Luftwaffe World War II uniform. After the base layer is applied, which I've done before this video, you need to apply wash. For that, I will use Agrax Earthshade to darken the uniform a bit, but not to make it too dark. I'll mix it up with the Lahmian medium 1:1. Use a bigger brush, you don't need to be precise here, just go over the entire mini to darken it up, and just be sure after you apply wash to all of the minis to check every one of them if the wash is not pooling at the bottom, not to leave some unevenly dried places. When the wash dries, it's time for the highlight. To get a look of worn, dirty trench coats, I use dry brush. For the first layer, I use the base layer of the mini, so Luftwaffe Second World War uniform. It is a heavy overbrush just to pick out the uneven spots. Here you see, like, it brings the detail more even. As the second layer of highlight, I use the grey-blue to pick up all the edges of the mini, so wipe most of the paint from the brush and go over the mini from top to bottom. If you want to have the minis brighter with more crisp details, you could add another layer of dry brush on top with brighter paint or grey-blue mixed with white, but I like the darker look that it gives now. And after you have the trench coats ready, you can start painting all of the details. I'll start with the boots, gloves, backpacks, webbing, all of the pouches, bags, and I'll paint them with a base coat of Rhinox hide. Here try to use some medium or detail brush not to mess up previous work, because dry brush is hard to fix with just normal painting over it. There is no special method here, just dilute your paint so it flows easily from the brush and try to pick out all the details that you need. Also, you could also paint the stock of the lasgun brown if you want them to look like they're wooden. In case of normal Krieg infantry or engineers, it's the same items you would paint brown. I don't think there is anything more on other minis than here. You can paint like poles of the banners, the handles of the trench clubs, everything that you think that could be wooden or leather. You can use these colors, you can split them into different, but yeah, I'll use that. So, the next step would be to paint with Wraithbone all of the straps around their boots, the Gasmasks cover on their faces, and I think that's it. It will bring some brighter parts to contrast the rest of the mini. Later we'll use wash to darken it up. In case of infantry and engineers, you can also paint bedrolls in this color and all sorts of like tarps and covers that should be brighter. For this, also use like detail brush not to mess anything up. The next step would be to block out all of the metallic details. For that, I'll use scale 75 black metal. Here you pick out for sure all the buttons on the shirt, all the buckles in the backpack, in the webbing, the mechanism of the filtration unit on the chest of the Mini. In case of crew members and the engineers, block out all of the tools, trench clubs, las pistols, metallic parts of the las gun, and the biggest pieces, the helmet, shoulder pads, in case of the engineers, also the armor. It's a bit bright now, but we'll darken it up with the washes. If you want it to be even darker, more worn, you can use small dry brush and apply it with a dry brush. So, the next step would be to apply golden pieces using also scale 75 Elven Gold, I think. And this is the small pieces like aquillas around the belt, helmet, and the canisters in the back. It's not too much in here. Next, using the Mephiston Red, I'll paint lenses in the gas mask, or all the lights on the filtering device and the battery packs of las gun. And after that, it's time for all the hoses on the Mini, so the hose that leads to the gas masks and all the cabling that are connected in here to the gun. I don't think other Minis have some more than that. After this, apply Nuln Oil all over the metal and the leather parts, metal, leather, and the rubber cording and hose. This can be done pretty liberal, even around the blue pieces, because it will give more shadow under the armor and backpacks. After that step, you need to wait until it's dry to proceed with the next wash. The next part will be Agrax Earthshade that is applied over the gold pieces, the gas mask covers, and the straps around the boots. It will give it nice, I don't know, the rubber or something like that texture. In this step, for other minis, probably you could also wash the bedrolls on their backs. If there is some officer with the map, you can wash it either with the Agrax Earthshade or with Seraphim Sepia to give it more parchment look. The last step would be to apply the Black Templar contrast paint over the rubber part, so the hose and the cabling. And lastly, using Black Legion contrast paint or any black paint. I like Black Legion because it's already diluted, to cover the body of the las gun with black, the parts that are not wooden. After that, you have the most parts ready. You can apply decals. I skipped it because I shown applying decals on the previous video, just the Aquila and the number of the regiment. Now it's time to bring the details up again. So now for the leather I use mix of Rhinox hide and Zandri dust, just 1-to-1 mix, and a bit of edge highlighting on every backpack, wooden parts, boots. Just pick up all the standing out parts on the top of the Mini. You can then add a bit of more Zandri dust and do another layer of highlight just on the edges and corners. Next, it's time to highlight the metal pieces. I use scale 75 trash metal for that. Just take small detail brush and using little amount of paint go over the top edges of helmet, shoulder pads, the las gun. You can add some scratches over the armor to make them a bit more worn. After that, using any orange paint or 1-to-1 mix of Mephiston Red and I don't know which oil, yellow, you can highlight the lenses, the battery pack lights, and the lights on the filtering device. And that would be it for like easy tabletop ready Krieg painting. Here you've got all 9 crew members for the 3 artillery batteries that are ready to be removed from the bases and put on the guns. You see, it's pretty fast way to have a decent look of a very big army. Of course, you could spend much more time on them, but like you have probably 100 more of the Kriegsmen to paint. I'll try to prepare another series of tutorials with my Cadian army, which is much more time-consuming, but look a bit nicer. But I think in that amount of minis, and in case of the bigger minis like the artillery team, the base also does a very good job of telling the story and bringing everything up. So the last thing to do is apply layer of satin on them, or matte varnish, whatever you prefer. Remove the minis from the bases, and using super glue and plastic glue, apply them to the final artillery team with the base, glue everything together. And here are the 3 finished artillery teams from the beginning to the end. So try it out by yourself, use those techniques on vehicles, infantry, anything you want. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.